Hello everyone, this is my module for video looking at online accessibility. Before I begin, I want to apologize for my voice. I lost my voice this week. This is a second week of school, and every year, the second week of school, I lose my voice. But I wanted to begin with a PowerPoint presentation just because I use PowerPoints a lot in my classroom. I really like how it gives the students visual, especially my kindergarteners, gives them visual. This is a PowerPoint that I used last year for introducing U.S. symbols, which is one of the social studies unit. As I went and looked at the handbook, it was just very eye-opening because, again, like I said, I use Google Slides a lot, PowerPoint slides a lot, and never really thought about making my PowerPoints accessible for all students. The first thing was looking at the outline view. So if you go to view, outline, making sure that in the outline, like it states in the outline panel, make sure all text from the slides appears in the outline view. And as you can see, slides 1 through 6 don't have the text. I'm not sure why 7, slide 7, and the other ones do have them and some of them don't. I tried to check and couldn't figure out why, so I would have to really look into that and make sure that moving forward, all my slides, checking that outline view and making sure that all my slides in the outline view show the text. The other thing is looking at the reading order. I did check that, however, and everything looked fine, but when I went to check for accessibility, there were a couple of slides that the reading order, that I had to check the reading order. Again, I'm not 100% sure why that was. Something, again, that I would have to look into. And the other thing was the missing slide title. Of course, number 1, because it's just kind of the starting of this, but I'm not sure about slide 10, 12, and 14. Kind of, again, looking into all of that. For this, the other thing is looking at the alternative text for my images. In kindergarten, I do use a lot of images for all my PowerPoint slides, and I never had really thought about the alternative text. So just making sure that I add that to my images or to the shapes that I incorporate or add to my PowerPoint slides. And I was playing around with it, just making sure, and I think you can um, generate it, which is pretty cool, but I think you can also kind of add it however you want it. And the other thing was the color for my PowerPoint slides or Google Slides, making sure there's the use of sufficient color contrast. I make sure that if I'm using a darker background, making sure that my font is lighter or vice versa. If I'm using a lighter background, making sure that my font is a little bit darker so it's able to see it correctly for my students. And I think that is it for my PowerPoint. The other thing, oh yes, going back with lists, I do have a couple of lists here, making sure that I'm using bullet lists for my lists. And I do think that is all for my PowerPoint. The other thing that I wanted to use was kind of look at the accessibility word Word documents. I did have a lot of Word documents when I taught upper grades, but I actually wanted to look at the accessibility that I share with parents in Word documents, and I chose this back to school night letter that I give to parents at the beginning of the school year. And one of the big things that I noticed was the headings. I actually don't have the correct headings. I used normal text. So making sure that I am properly formatting my headings, using the styles here in the Word document. Again, all of my quote unquote headings are all normal, as you can see. So making sure in the future, when I'm creating Word documents for parents, making sure that the headings are correct. Connecting with my PowerPoint, the images as well, adding that alternative text to images. I don't think I have a list here. I think I tried to. So for here, this is supposed to be kind of like a list. So making sure I use bullet points. I also do have links here because this is actually also shared in Schoology. I do have links, and I do have I think the name of the link is correct, making sure it describe its destination. I have the district website, the Schoology parent guide, and the push notifications, and it takes parents to that site. And going along with the PowerPoint slide, the color, making sure there's sufficient color and contrast, and I do have that for this document. So again, never really thought about accessibility for students and also parents in this case. And the reason why I also chose using this Word document was because in the Rice article, one of the things listed as making students be more successful in an online environment was having that additional adult support, specifically for little learners. I know that when COVID started and we went online, I talked to other kindergarten teachers, and they said that it wouldn't have been possible without parents getting students to log in to the Zoom, getting them to Schoology. I think that parents were helping their students be successful. So making sure that accessibility is also for parents as well. And again, moving forward, making sure that when I create Word documents and PowerPoints, keeping in mind all this accessibility for students and parents. And I actually, when I taught online, when I taught fourth grade, I did have a student with a hearing impairment, and they only provided us with how to make, I think, with like videos, not necessarily with Word documents or PowerPoints. So this was really neat to see as well. And again, moving forward, being able to make making Word documents, PowerPoints, anything else accessible to all students. Thank you.